Max BatRep. Chaos and Orcs, Turn 2. Nick moves his Chaos Space Marines up 6 inches towards the cover that's following behind the Orcs on the Def Coppice. He moves the other squad in behind them around the skyscraper outside of the portal. The Demon Prince flies through the streets in front, cutting off the orc mob. He wants to get the kill first. Tony's orcs move forward. One of the squads makes its way around the left of the building that they were all standing behind. His war buggy scoots on forward towards my Marines, aiming its guns right towards the assault Marines. The Def Coptas fly towards my Land Raider. And the orcs, the other orc squad, manage to walk around the Demon Prince. Sure, it's gotta be awkward if you're a big mob of orcs trying to run through the city and a big Demon Prince just jumps in front of you. The War Boss moves along with the squad of orcs, continues to kind of run through them. The Knobs run around the squad of orcs. The War Truck shoots its guns into the Assault Marines. Being twin-linked, gets to re-roll its hits. It gets 2 hits. Rolling its wounds, it gets 1 wound on the Assault Marines. But I get to roll 3 saves, which I make on a 5, so I don't get scathed by that. Then the orcs inside the building shoot their shooters at the Marines, getting 3 hits in total out of the whole 10 orcs. And then getting 1 wound. So, my 3-up save, which I pass on a 3. There's a heavy shooter, which fires into the Assault Marines, which gets 1 hit and wounds. But an Assault Marine doesn't manage to survive that one, so I take one away. I take away the one that has the plasma pistol. I was just proxying as a bolt pistol because I didn't have enough Marines. The orcs that are going around the building, they run with the War Boss. They run towards the Marines that are coming out of the Rhino. So the orc boys run around the Demon Prince, and its wings fall off, so we just kind of remove them. The Knobs run 3 inches, so they run towards the War Boss, 3 inches. So Nick's Havocs shoot at my scouts. Right now he's got a missile launcher and a las cannon. We get a melt-a-gun and a plasma gun in the squad. So the missile scatters and misses them, so they're safe from that. The las cannon and the plasma gun fire. Las cannon being black and the plasma cannon being gold. They both hit, and they both wound. So my scouts get cover saves being in the building, and they get +1 to them because of their camo cloaks. So they get 3-up saves. And Nick was disappointed from that. Space Marines, Turn 2. I move my Assault Marines up to the center of the table towards the Demon Prince to try and charge into it. Because I felt at this point charging the Demon Prince would be a lot better than it charging me. So I tried to tie up everything in there as much as possible. I disembark the Marines from my Rhino and then start moving them towards the Orcs. They just have bolters and a flamer. The sergeant is just a sergeant with no upgrades. I'm also moved the dreadnought closer to the buggy. I shoot my plasma gun, my plasma pistol, and the bolt pistols into the Demon Prince. The plasma pistol gets hot, but I make the armor save. And everything misses. Las cannon from the dreadnought into the buggy, which hits and gets a 1, so it's a glancing hit. So, because it's AP1, it gets +1 to its damage modifier, and +1 for the open top. So it blows up. And so I fire into the Orcs with my Marines, and 3 Orcs drop from their fire. And then the bolter shots, because that was just the flame template, which I miss once. And then from wounding, I get 4 more Orcs shot down. Try to repair my Land Raider again, but fail on a 1. So my Tech Marine sucks. And then I open fire with the Land Raider. The gold dice are the Hurricane Bolters, the white dice are the Assault Cannon. So, rolling to wound against the Death Coptas, which were just barely in sight from most of the guns. So I got 1 rending, and that dice was cocked, so I re-rolled it. And I get 1 wound. So Tony rolls his save, which he gets. I can't see it, but he fails. And both of the Death Coptas die, because they both had a wound left. The Land Speeder fires its weapons into the Chaos Space Marines. It's got an Assault Cannon and a Heavy Bolter. So I managed to get 2 wounds. And Nick rolls saves, with both Chaos Space Marines being fine. I fire a frag missile from my scouts, which manages to cover 5 if it doesn't scatter. But it goes off it goes 5 inches towards the table edge and goes off the edge of the table. I get 2 more sniper shots from the scouts, but only 1 hits. And I manage to barely wound, and so Nick rolls a save, which is a 3-hit save. My scouts that are inside the skyscraper fire down, and they shoot at the havocs that are inside the other building. We roll a leadership save because we weren't sure if they were able to do it, so we rolled it and they passed. Gold dice being the snipers and the white dice being the heavy bolter. I managed to get no wounds on the havocs. The Rhino shoots its storm bolter into the Orcs, getting 2 hits. wounding one orc. So one orc drops. I charge into the Demon Prince with my Assault Marines. I have 4 left because one of them got killed, so they were going to be enough to hold it off for a little while. They weren't expected to be something to hold them off for a whole game, but something to slow them down for a bit. The Marines they charge into the orcs, keeping in mind that they shot their pistols in the shooting phase and not their bolt guns, so they were able to charge. War boss is thoroughly surrounded, and the other Space Marines manage to charge into the boys. The Demon Prince attacks the Space Marines, Assault Marines charging it, gets 3 hits, and manages to wound 2 of the Marines, killing them. So 2 Marines are dropped just immediately. The other 2 get to attack back, though. Assault Marines attack back, hitting on 4s and wounding on 5s, getting 2 hits. I get 1 wound. It rolls a save. 3 up armor save. Rolling a 6, it's completely a pass. The Space Marines get 22 attacks at the orcs. In equal speed with the war boss, but faster than the rest of the orcs. Or never mind, he's not equal speed with the war boss, they're faster. It's the advantage of being Space Marines, you're faster than a lot of the races out there. Well, that's not entirely true. Getting 11 hits, that's exactly half of what the amount of attacks was. So statistically, that's about right. And wounding on 4s again, getting 4 wounds. The orcs have 6 up saves, and none of the orcs managed to save. So 3 of the orcs take a wound, and the war boss takes a wound. Keeping in mind, we were just learning some of the rules for 5th edition, and we were trying to make the game quick, so a lot of the rules aren't perfect. But point them out if you see any flaws. So the war boss attacks back and gets everything, manages to missing. He's passed their leadership test, so they pile in onto the Demon Prince and consolidate. The orcs roll their leadership, and they fail. They run back 8 inches towards the table edge, running off the side, becoming casualties. The squad of Space Marines consolidates into the war boss as he holds off the rest of the squad. We ignored the fact that he was part of the squad and should have ran off with them, because once again we were learning some of the new rules. So the war boss is trapped in combat.